Hey everybody, welcome to another MindsEye live stream. And yes, we are doing another MindsEye live stream because there's been an update, long rumored or shortly rumored that we may never get more updates, but that wasn't true. We got an update thankfully, and just gonna have a little playthrough to see what's involved, anything interesting, any changes that we can notice. Please do leave a like if you enjoy the stream or you're just a fan of MindsEye. Let's 1 second now. I'll get started. This is on PS5 if you're wondering. And I am Final Film Productions if you're wondering. Oops, 1 second. Anyway, I forget which mission now I've just thrown myself into. I have tried to skip cutscenes and it works a dream. Yeah, and it's definitely something. I think people were asking for and looking for. I think people were. Second now. I'll probably have to pull up and see exactly what this update. Did this update mention that it would update enemy AI? That's something that'd be interesting to see if the enemy AI has been improved, because there's definitely been issues with that. Yeah. Let me see here. But yeah, welcome to the stream, and let me know if you've tried out the update or if you have ever played MindsEye before. One second now. So yes, update number 4. The skipping cutscenes is an addition. Several improvements have been made to architecture and assets to improve memory, CPU, right? General performance improvement, shader, asset collisions. Aim assist will follow focus on enemies and vehicle turrets over the driver. I'm going to skip PC updates because it's no real use to me. Trailer tanks and free roam now explode. Several improvements have been made to architecture assets. Improve weather change when player leaves factory. Small performance improvement on robots. NPCs that are aiming and are in cover now look more natural. Okay, that'd be interesting. So NPCs that are aiming and in cover now look more natural. So that enemy AI, or that's enemies they're talking about aiming in cover, I presume. Yeah. animation, optimize the ambient and civilian animations. Exit entry animations no longer play for driverless vehicles. Yeah. Well, we'll have a look anyway and see how exactly this game is playing. It has been a while since I properly played any of these missions. Whoops. Probably shouldn't be standing up there. Whoops. So what am I supposed to do here? Get to the sky car. So yeah, I have finished the game already. I do not remember. Oh, damn. Stand that guy. Damn. How about these guys? Get to the sky car. Where is the sky car? Who's that? Oh, I remember this level now. This was a tough level. So this would, yeah, there's a lot of enemies and action in this level, so this would be a good way to a good mission to see if the enemy AI has improved in any way, meaningful way. What are these guys standing here for? Oops. So don't mind my idiotic way of playing these missions, because I am trying to test out whether the AI is any better. And I also have muted dialogue because the characters in this game really do not stop talking.
Attention. Active shooter on premises.
Oh. No, don't mind me running into the fire.
This airfield is in level 3 emergency response. Do not panic.
Whoops.
Response teams are en route.
Let's see how these enemies deal with me. Okay, I look like a Lionel Messi. Okay, kinda got a flash switch to that animation. Was a little bit flashy, but at least they turned and noticed me. So where's the other two characters? Well, they're up here. Whoops. What am I doing? Trying to get used to controls. Not sure what difficulty I have this on. Probably have it on quite low. This vehicle here, is this drivable? I've been testing out the map system, the scanning system, where it's at times pops up vehicles that you can interact with, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Whoa. It's saying we can interact with this vehicle, so let's see. Nope. Showing up as a vehicle, but it's not doing anything. What the hell? Yeah, the enemy AI does seem a little bit less janky. You know, as I say, I may have difficulty lowered in this, so if you're wondering why it's maybe a little easier, that's probably because I've maybe lowered difficulty. But yeah, if from my recollection of the last time I played it, it doesn't seem too bad. But let's go further in this. I say I did have a lot of fun with the game first time around. But I had issues as well. In terms of game-breaking bugs, I had a couple. Maybe 2 or 3. So it wasn't completely terrible. Who is this person? It's just a worker. Is this robot still active? Whoa, not anymore. So yeah, if you're wondering, a lot of people had issues with kind of janky enemy AI, where enemies would just run past you and hide here, and you'd be standing beside them and they wouldn't be really doing anything, or when they go in between and behind cover, they'd kind of just glitch in and out. It just didn't really took you out of the immersion of the game. Anyway, that's one way of putting it. So if you're wondering why it's quite quiet, I have muted the character dialogue in the game, so that's not the game's fault, that's me. Whoop. Oh. Bit of a glitch out there, whatever happened there. So, some of these guys are not very good shots. Where are we going to now? Whoa. I've loaded difficulty, but I can't stand out and withstand too much of this. What weapon should I be using? Take it I don't have the Hey Luigi, hard mode. No, this I'm gonna assume this could be way down on difficulty. It's on easy, yeah. Yeah, I remember when I played it, there was a couple of parts that were irking me later in the game where I was just getting my ass handed to me, so I think I lowered it and obviously didn't change it from there on in. So yeah. But yeah, in terms of the enemy AI and their kind of animations and their behavior, it's quite good at the moment. You know, obviously it's on easy, so they're not doing too much damage to me, but I'm not noticing too much kind of janky animation glitches or them just standing and kind of shooting a wall or anything like that. Console, so I don't blame you too much, I imagine. Yeah, there was a couple of missions later on that it was just annoying me, and I was like, I'm just gonna have a little bit more of an easy route with this and have a little bit of fun with it rather than stressing out over dying 5 million times. What the hell? Yeah, trying to get used to the controls because I've been playing a lot of DayZ and Watch Dogs, and you've got all different control mappings, so it's... What the hell? Alright, way to go, Rigsby. Or isn't it Rigsby? Yeah, I've also muted character dialogue because, especially in driving missions, they just do not stop talking. But yeah, visually I think the game's always looked great, especially in the Sunshine missions. The game does look pretty damn impressive. Yeah. So this vehicle is showing up. As if you can interact or use it, but doesn't seem to be a way in. Can you drive these big vehicles in build mode? Like, is there... Oh crap, forgot about this. Whoops. So wait a minute, that's supposed to change the robot to attack other robots, but it kind of hasn't been doing that. Am I right in saying that? It's been attacking... It's kind of been just... Every time I turn them green, they just sort of stand there and don't really... Maybe I'll keep an eye on that. We have found them, but they aren't spawnable by default, as in the buses at least. The one that drops bots off, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, so that drone is on my side, but I don't think he tried to attack those other two drones. And I don't think he's going to follow us down here. He's very slowly following us. No, he's not going to come down very far. Whoa. That's the end of that guy. That's a nice car there. Whoop. That guy's had better days. So what should I be looking for on single player? They mentioned something about the enemy. I was reading it out earlier about the enemy AI being more kind of smooth in terms of when they're going in and out of cover and stuff like that, or NPC AI is more smooth. I remember this mission being a lot less smooth than this, and not in terms of difficulty, but in terms of just the behavior of the enemies. There's a lot of times enemies were just standing around, and I was kind of they weren't really doing much towards me at all. Whereas these enemies all seem to be, even on low difficulty, seem to be trying to attack me. And I get near to them, if they're shooting somebody else, they turn to me. This guy's running. They're not very good shots, but oh, double team. Yeah, a little melee takedown would really have been a nice thing to add into the game, I think. What is that sound? The plane above? Oops, hit a civilian. So he is shooting at who exactly? No, he took it. Okay, so he is helping out. This guy's getting a little bit stuck here. So this vehicle is showing up, but it's not letting us into it. Yeah, this scan feature is interesting. It seems to be, whoops. Let's test out the skip cutscene. Pretty nifty. So what now? Get to Morrison's bunker. Whoops. Yeah, it's a shame that You can't use these things and land on single player or free roam. You can't use these flying things to land on top of buildings and stuff and explore the higher areas of the map. They seem to, once you get in there, they lock you into these things, and that's a bit of a shame. I presume in build mode you can get in and out of what do they call these in the game again? Whoops. Skip another cutscene. Do love the sun effects in the game. So let's see now. Let me see, Luigi, I can read your comment on YouTube here on my phone. Yeah, there was a few gang hideouts in free roam where you'd think you can get in the helicopter-like vehicles. Also, yeah, absolutely build mode. You're free as a bird to do as you wish. You can get out of the vehicle, I thought, but you'd have to hold, I think, triangle for you to. Well, let's see now. The sky car is what they're calling it. So once you get in here, they just lock you in, so you can't. Like, look at that shot there of the desert rocks in the sun. Really pretty game, and I don't think it gets enough credit for that. I mean, it's not a. I remember, I don't forget which streamer was criticizing the game, but they says it's not a inexpensive. I don't know that they call it flop. You know, it's an expensive failure, flop, whatever, because the game does look great at places. But yeah, it's locking me in here. Yeah, like look at that there. I mean, like if we cut out the HUD here for a second, although I don't, if I go anywhere away from the line of the mission waypoint, where I'm supposed to be going, they're going to fail me. Probably some missions they don't fail you, but no, they still got. So yeah, the game does look. I think the game looks best in this sort of daytime or this sort of time, or during the daytime. Nighttime it looks fine, but I think most free roam games don't look as impressive at nighttime unless it's like raining or stuff. Did they fix the lifeless AI at least? Are you talking about the Are you talking about the AI of the NPCs, like the people in the street? They haven't done anything with those, I don't believe, and they really do need fixed, and they need... The NPCs in the street need... I'll talk about this in a little minute when I do a driving mission. They need character dialogue, and they need more animations. The enemies, if you go a few minutes back, the enemies are a bit better. They're not as... they don't get as stuck and stuff and start shooting. Nothing, you know, the enemies are, I think, a lot better from the last time I played it. But like this here looks great. 1 second, do I have depth of field? Is Depth of field off. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, sometimes the depth of field can blur out far away sections and make it look worse. Traffic on when you're high up, the traffic is a little bit glitchy. You can see there, but that's been an issue with GTA 5 and lots of other free roam games. They struggle to make the top down traffic and stuff from a big distance look kind of natural and not kind of glitchy and popping in and out a lot. Is the audio for me? Can you hear me okay? See if I lower that a little bit. But yeah, when you go down lower, I mean the traffic in the game is sometimes really good. Like there's some massive amounts of build up in traffic at times that looks really impressive. On Discord you would have noticed a glitch where if you stand in the middle of the road for a long time, traffic builds up and there's loads of traffic, but then the traffic starts glitching and blowing up into the air at times. Some of the cars, it's a little bit weird. On PC they definitely yap a bit ambiently. They do? Okay. I remember little bits of dialogue, but very little in my experience. Also a fun one is if you shoot at a couple random cars, there's a chance an NPC will get out and try and shoot you back. I'm wondering now if you can sneak in. Disable depth of field is a must, yeah. Yeah, the traffic does be too dense at times. Yeah, I turned off the mini map just for so that I like less of a HUD, but the mini map actually takes up in the right hand corner. You get the faces of the people yapping, which if you've just joined, I've muted the dialogue because there's way too much talking in the game. I do think they need to skip dialogue while in a mission as well, because these characters constantly keep ringing you and telling you to get here, get here, get here. So yeah, like I'd like to get on top of a building and explore it, and I know obviously there's not going to be that much on top of a skyscraper or anything, but just to be able to get up there and whoops, and land. Let's say you can land and stop the vehicle, but you cannot get out of it, to my knowledge. So that's a shame. I'm not sure if there is much on top of these buildings, if there's anything interesting that can be found, or probably not. I mean, there's not a lot of parkour in the game. Well, I mean, you can't climb stuff in the game. But yeah, definitely a cool map. It's definitely a map that is begging for stuff to be added to it, and for, you know, as Luigi and Theft and guys on build mode have been adding interiors, creating interiors, and just adding some life to what is, from the outside looking at this map, a really cool map. Nope, maybe stuff unique to campaign, but bear in mind in build we can freely fly, no clip around. Yeah. Yeah, I think I would have had a lot of fun being able to access build mode because I just love free roam games. I love open world games where you can explore and just kind of mess around with stuff in a big map with, um, lots of stuff to do. And even if there's not a lot of, like if you see me playing like stuff like Watch Dogs or GTA, most of the time I'm just driving around, climbing on top of stuff, exploring little places I haven't been. And that's what I'm hoping for GTA 6, is that their map is kind of like this here, just places you'd like to visit, and kind of, like if you go on a holiday, there's like in a certain bit of weather, places are just kind of cool places you want to visit. And like in Watch Dogs, I was messing around with just taking selfies in cool places. And it sounds kind of lame for a video game, but that's the kind of stuff I enjoy. Is like, okay, you've got the storyline that when you get bored of messing around, you can do that. But for me, it's all about the open world map and being able to explore it and find stuff. And the question is, what do you put in these open world maps to make them? I'm gonna try a free roam mission where I can drive around. What do you put in these maps to kind of fill them out and make them interesting? Oops. I'm not sure if this was the right one. I think this may be a level I can find stuff in, or drive around in. I just have to do something, this part first. I'm with you, pal. Love good world building and immersing myself in the game world. Yeah. And I was just trying to rack my head around what they could foreseeably add to this game. And I think Theft is adding a lot of cool stuff to his open world. But I'm wondering what Barb himself, I would love to know what you think, Luigi. Should they be solely depending on users to make additions and content, or should they be trying to, I guess, should it be half and half? Should they be doing their own cool stuff and then also hoping that users can do stuff that they've never even thought of? That would be my happy medium. I don't think you can depend on just users to even if it comes to consoles, user content. I think they got. Well, first of all, they got to be pushing the user content that's really good, and then they got to be pushing their own stuff. And that's the thing. Like if you go into Fortnite, or if you go into Roblox, you've got to feature the best stuff, and sometimes there can be a lot of crappy stuff that's just kind of people messing around with the build tool or something, and you want to be able to put front and center the best stuff. And maybe they got to fix their menu system, or the way you find those portals, because maybe those thumbnails don't quite explain how interesting or not these portals are. Like, some of them look cool from the thumbnail, and then you go into them and it's just like a race that's really not very exciting. So multiplayer, I was thinking about that as well. Multiplayer could be cool, but if the active player numbers are really low, multiplayer is just not gonna succeed, because there's nothing worse than going into a multiplayer game and you can't find a game, or there's not enough people to fill up a lobby, or fill up a super sunlight. So my recollection is that this is a mission that I can drive around freely. I was trying to find one that give me a good time of day that I could, like, again, this desert area doesn't really have a lot of stuff to do in it, but it looks pretty damn impressive. And I've messed around with Unity and stuff in the past, and I know there's more sophisticated ones now that you can build loads of terrains, but it's still pretty impressive. Even the small details like driving over little shrubs and little bits of bush here, and that they fall away. I mean, that stuff's it is quite impressive. So yeah, I haven't lost faith with the game. I just would wish the updates were a little bit more substantial. Even if they're going to take like a month and a half, at least each update adds something of note. You know, this update's fine. Skipping cutscenes is cool. I think for people that are replaying the game or people that are first in the game, you really don't want to be forced through some quite long cutscenes without without the option to skip out of them. So yeah, some of these characters show up when you scan them. I presume these are guys that have that guy does have a gun. Sorry, I've been missing some of your comments here. I can say that they're absolutely working on their own stuff. Yeah, really interested to see what they come up with. The tool makes it so that you can do great stuff quicker and cheaper. Primarily, the power of user generated content is almost a consequence of that. That's good feedback for them, I think. The portal thing, not being tantalizing enough or really telling you enough about what's ahead. Everywhere a bit more than just a thumbnail on portals, a title, a short summary. Yeah. You'd love my friend. You'd love my friend. Do you like driving? I have a stream of playing it with him, and it's like this awesome 3D gravity system allowing you to drive up. Yeah, you should definitely link me with a clip of that till I see it. This is in MindsEye, is it? So these guys, so these these NPCs. So this is the sort of thing that they really need to improve upon. I mean, I feel okay. Now these are, I would call these are more like the open world enemies, which are a little bit, they obviously, from this situation here, seem to have a little bit of that jank still there. But in the missions, the enemies did seem better. We will go into the city and see how things are in there. So there is a couple of missions that definitely allow you to explore, which I respect, but the fact that they didn't really give you much to explore, and the fact that the NPCs are quite lifeless, kind of makes you feel like it's a strange one, because I would have criticized the game for not letting you explore the map. But then if you let people explore the map, who's this guy? If you let people explore the map, you've got to have stuff in it that they can do, and it's got to be impressive. Like the environment is impressive, but what's the life of the map is lacking. That's one thing. Watch Dogs 2, which I've been playing a lot recently. I started playing Watch Dogs 2 many years back, but never finished it, and I've just been trying it out again recently, and it does a very good job of, even Watch Dogs 1 and Legion do a very good job of making the maps feel alive, making the NPCs feel like they're actually living things that are doing their own thing and have personalities. I guess that's a big thing of Watch Dogs, is making the NPCs kind of interesting. And okay, don't think I can get on down here. Whoops. Keeping Red Rock safe. Join the RCPD. Yeah, the robots are. I don't think they're keeping many people safe. Whoops. They certainly. Oh, I guess on easy mode they're not going to put up much of a fight, but I guess you get them in a group together, they can be quite a formidable opponent. Whoops. Yeah, it's in MindsEye. I'll grab one. Working on beating a leadership record at the moment. Yeah, welcome, Minyuk, or I don't know, is that how to pronounce your name? Sorry. So I don't know if people seen my kind of a glitch I found yesterday at I forget, is it the hotel or one of the hotels where you can, the valet gets into oh, I got your name right, that's good. The valet at the hotel in one of the missions, I don't think it's around here, I might be able to find it. He's going into the car and you can sneak in and get into the car he's getting into, but once you drive like 5 seconds away from that place, the game just deletes the car and you just spawn out of the car. So yeah, it's definitely my main gripe with the game, is that they restrict you in too many areas from doing just stuff that you'd like to do. I mean, people must be sick of me talking about them locking the vehicles in free roam, or what the hell, is there something? Oh, there is somebody in that car. Whoops. Oh. Whoa, damn, whoa. Okay, yikes. So that car had an enter signal on it, which is interesting. Oh crap, okay, I just ruined my car. Well, I didn't intend that. Whoops. Well, that's mission failed. So yeah, if they do open up vehicles, there's going to be a lot of stuff they're going to have to change, because oh crap. Because the game is really built upon you only driving the one vehicle in most missions. 007 wants his golden gun back. Yes, that I have no idea. I understand the first vehicle seemed to drive into the petrol or into the petrol station tanks, and it blew up. I'm not sure how the second one blew up so easily. Yikes. Okay, we start again. Oh. Wrong way. Yeah, I think the restricting the players too much is never a good thing. I know the game does try to be linear. It's a weird one because the game is trying to be linear, I would say 60% of the time. But then they give you this big massive map, and it's kind of like, it's a strange one. It's weird to make a big massive map and then try to make a linear game which tries to stop you from going around this map. And then they do allow you to go around the map, and they don't really have stuff for you to do in it. So that's I would love to get their thinking behind that, and I guess not every game has to do what. Not every game like this has to copy the structure of a Watch Dogs or GTA or Just Cause. And it's one of those things when this game, does keep adding stuff, and when it does get to a point where there is more stuff in it, the unfortunate thing is GTA 6 is just right around the corner. And it doesn't matter if Watch Dogs 4 come out tomorrow and it was badass and revolutionary. The GTA name, and rightly so, will kind of kill everything in its path. But I'm wondering, with Watch Dogs being sidelined for the foreseeable future, and Just Cause, I think, was cancelled a while back as well. That they may not be permanent cancellations, but for the foreseeable future, there is no real open world games out there that are coming. Open world city games like this. So it'll be interesting to see when GTA 6 comes out and is such a big hit as it will be. Obviously, what game there will be companies that will want, studios that will want to get a piece of that pie and give people an alternative and maybe get some of that player base to their new open world IP. I will be interested to see, can somebody get anywhere near the success that Ubisoft did. They always plan to expand and reuse the map, I think is why you feel that way, to be honest. This linear campaign is just to begin establishing the world. If content was dropping on the planned monthly cadence, things would make more sense, but the game was sort of rushed out on a deadline, unfortunately. But you're right, there's no real alternative at the moment, so there's a market for this experience. Of course, GTA 6 is the elephant in the room, though. Yeah, it's that question of what can MindsEye deliver that maybe a GTA 6 can't. And it's interesting. I wonder, will GTA 6 do anything revolutionary? Like, does it have to do anything revolutionary is the question as well. And what I mean by that is, like, if it just delivers a really, really pretty open world game with the usual stuff that they put in their open worlds, with a badass story. Like, we know the story, I guess it's up to your taste. The story will be probably really well thought out and interesting in GTA 6. But beyond that, what I'm more interested is, like, what are GTA 6 going to do? Are they going to have fully explorable buildings like like if this was GTA 6 now, like could you go into that the casinos and the hotels and like just start looting hotel rooms and finding stuff and maybe finding NPCs up to no good in hotel rooms? Could you go into these homes here and steal stuff and maybe get attacked by a homeowner who's sleeping or something? Could you break into a prison and cause a riot? You know, this kind of, that to me would be a real big step up in an open world game, where it's not just a map full of really pretty stuff, it's a map you can actually do stuff in. What was I saying here? Would you write? Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to know, like, what else would you want to do in an open world? Like, obviously GTA 5 had shops, clothes shops, barber shops, like, for sure I feel about GTA 6, all those things are kind of an expectation at this point. Yeah, I mean, is it 13, 14 years since GTA 5? Like, I think people have the expectation that GTA 6 is really going to do something amazing. But I wonder, is that kind of just the hype getting too out of control? Like, another thing before I forget is I had this idea. I think you might be a good person, Luigi, to think about this. Is I was on one of Theft's live streams, and I was talking about how could you do a makeshift kind of crude map, and I had the idea that you could change the camera to like a top-down. I don't think I can go up too high on this map. 1 second here. I think I can go around a 600 altitude. Oh, okay. I couldn't go that high. Sorry, but my idea was that if you had a map keyed to some button, and then the map, what the map would be is just a camera really high up in the sky, and maybe your character position is like a red dot above the character. So my character's down with that. It's down where I'm where those cars are crashing. So like you'd have a big red sphere or something above the character that when you turn on the map, it appears. So obviously this is not a very good map because I'm only a little bit high up, but if you could put the camera way up high looking down at the full map. Theft was having a look at it, but the quality of the graphics very high up is a little bit low res. But it could be a crude way of doing a mini map, or sorry, a full city map. So essentially, when you press the map button, the camera goes way up the sky, and you can see top down of the whole city. And maybe there's other ways to do that. Maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe when you go to the top down city view, you can kind of, I don't think you can. The ideal thing would be to put in a big massive graphic, or even a smaller graphic, and the camera looking at the graphic, and you could see the city and where you are on that little small thumbnail or graphic of the map. But I don't think you can do that yet. I've had discussions like that. I thought about the camera in the sky, or a camera in front of Morrison's map of Red Rock. Oh, that's cool. Or a holographic map. Yeah, that's. Morrison has a 2D map that looks like the maps you got in a GTA physical. So yeah, I think it's possible someone could do logic to interpret where you are. Yeah, that would be really cool. Like the map in the sky is pretty easy to find out where you are because you just put a red, say a red triangle or red sphere above Jacob's, isn't it Jacob? Yeah, Jacob's head. And so when he moves around, the red dot, or the red sphere moves around. But yeah, if you could get it on one of those, as you say, the map that Morrison has, that would be really cool. Because yeah, that's another thing that, because obviously they got a map, they got the mini map, so it's not like they were incapable of do like the mini maps. You know, it's basic, but it's not like you just expand that somehow in some way. It's yeah, it does seem strange that they, especially later in the game, that they didn't open up the map or allow you to open up and see the full map. Again, it's so frustrating because there's so many great vehicles in the game, so many cool cars, and like even this bus station. I don't think there's anything in here that. So yeah, I was messing around with the drone and I was finding vehicles popping up on when you scan. And I found another vehicle before I started the stream where somebody again was in a vehicle. I shot them and then I was able to get into the passenger seat. And actually this time I was able to, when I got out of the car, I was able to drive the car, but then the car just despawned shortly after. So it appears that these vehicles are kind of hard-coded vehicles with NPCs kind of parked or something, and they appear to be opened somehow. But the game does not like you trying to use those vehicles. Yeah, I mean, detail and kind of detail is the aim of the game. If they could get a few people working on adding detail to the city, and like even that, I'm not sure if I was the first person, but I think I was one of the first few people to notice that in one of the dingy motels in the game, they have some naughty audio of things going on inside one of the rooms. So stuff like that's the kind of stuff that GTA excels at so well. It's just kind of making everything feel like there's been work done to every section of the map and every section of the game. Yeah, so they are made using a build tool and streaming dynamically as what's called open world encounters. They despawn as you leave because the stamp is despawned to make room for more. Okay, yeah. Yes, yeah. So like if I get in one of those things now and I drive this far away, it just deletes the vehicle. And yeah, I thought I'd found some new vehicles to use, but it wasn't to be. But I wonder what their reason was for blocking it to just one vehicle. Was it down to cutscenes? You know, like when you rock up with your vehicle in the cutscene, if it isn't the vehicle if it isn't this yellow vehicle that they initially wanted you to drive, and you show up on this red and white pizza time vehicle, is that what they wanted to stay away from? They didn't want their cutscenes and continuity to be messed up, maybe? Oh yeah, the audio was part of the game's rating breakdown. I think Paige revealed it. That's That's pretty nuts. That and like, did somebody did they have to detail that, or did somebody have to, like, how did the Peggy people find that, or would they would have to be directed towards that, because that's not something you'd find too easily. But yeah, the one vehicle thing, like, I do understand. I mean, that's a debate I've had with a lot of people, is that they say, oh, well, you're not a criminal, you shouldn't be going around stealing vehicles. But, like, as I've said, there's a lot of games that kind of allow you to do it without making your character seem like a really depraved, violent person. Like the 24 game, which I know is a really old game, but I was really surprised that the 24 game had open world sections where you could get into any vehicle. Essentially, in the 24 game, you're a CTU, counter-terrorism agent, and when you go up to a vehicle, he flashes the badge, and the person gets out. And like, that whole thing is like, if you do something that's violent, send the police after you. Like, make there be consequences for you doing something bad. Like, I remember True Crime, Streets of LA, other games had it too. Your cop rating and your notoriety went up and down, good cop, bad cop. From MindsEye, like, it's weird because in some of the missions you can just kill as many NPCs as you want, and then other missions they're really strict and they fail you the complete mission if you kill too many. But in some of the missions you can just, even in story mode, you can just kill as many as you want and there's nothing happens. So it's really strange. To be honest, GTA 5 kind of does the same thing in the campaign, where 3 guys have a personal car. Jacob has his company car until he's sneaking around in Morrison's and has a Jeep, for example. A narrative choice and likely time constraints. Yeah. Oh yeah, like I do like the idea of having like the I don't think I can't get it here. The customized car that you can have in the game, where you can have different skins in it. That's a really cool car. So yeah, I do like the idea of the personal car, but that being the only thing, yeah, was disappointed by that. I think that was the thing I was most interested by when you got little glimpses of the game. It's like, how much detail is in this map? Like, okay, we meant to have a look at the NPCs. We got bicycles over there. I presume the bicycles aren't interactable. Is there motorbikes in MindsEye? I don't think there is there? No, there isn't. So let's see now. So yeah, the characters don't have facial animations. This here is another issue. And it feels like this stuff could be fixed. It's not. Maybe facial animations would be but like the 3 characters just stopping here. That really does feel like a section of that's just kind of a part of the game that was just neglected. So do they make any? So they're stuck here now, and they don't make any reaction. Yeah, the NPCs need work. What the hell? Whoops. So they don't have any facial animations. The NPCs, so they do it, are kind of a janky animation where when you aim the gun, not even when they see the gun, when they aim the gun, which okay, but then like these guys clearly aren't reacting to me at all because they're stuck in the vehicle here. So if they move the vehicle, and now they run. Okay. They are definitely better than that in build mode, to be honest. The NPCs are better in build mode? Interesting. Okay, so the bikes are interactable in terms of they're not okay. This one's a frozen asset, but they are an asset, but they obviously, I presume, didn't. It's just fine. You don't need bikes. You don't need everything in a game. I'm just kind of a lot of stuff I'm talking about is nitpicky, but the NPCs I think is a big thing. I think that, especially if you're gonna let the player get out and look around. The NPCs, first of all, they need facial animations of some way, so if you pull out the gun, they should look scared. And if they just get scared and run away, that's fine. That's kind of all you need. It doesn't need to be super sophisticated. It doesn't need to be, the level of what GTA or Watch Dogs do. But yeah, that was another key point that they maybe didn't feel that. I wonder, will they look into the NPCs' behavior and their lack of intelligence? And the robot, he's trying to get away from something. Whoops. Yeah, I would have liked them to do more with the robots too. These robots are really good. Design-wise, are pretty cool. But even some audio, cues for those robots would be cool. So we've established that the cutscene skipping works a treat. The enemy AI is a lot better in the action missions, the shooting missions. NPCs haven't really been touched from what I see. Maybe we'll have a little look in free roam, in the actual free roam portal, to see if there's been much done there. Whoops. So yeah, being able to get to use user-generated content would be awesome. To be honest, if they're gonna be really adding to the free roam portal, like, it should be at the top as a big, massive, not just heading down here as just another random portal, because some of these portals are really just kind of like the one that people, I think Protect and Server, that one was not good. I'd even go as far as to say they should probably remove the Protect and Server one. But free roam should be at the top, and it should be a bigger one, especially if they're going to really add stuff to it and make it its own thing. I feel like that's probably the best route forward, is to have Barb should have their own 2 or 3 main portals that are at the top of the play menu all the time, and then these stuff down here, or any of the user generated races and stuff, should be smaller ones, and then any of the the better user-generated content should be featured at the top as well. You know, stuff that's really good, they should be pushing. Because you want to ensure that when people are playing the game for the first time or coming back to the game, that they're finding any cool stuff that they have. At the moment, I don't think there's a lot of stuff, especially on consoles, to really write home about. I think it's a dead end down there. Somebody in the vehicle probably needs fixing. Oh, torch, I didn't know this had a torch. Oh, learn something new every day. The somebody in vehicle thing probably needs fixing because it's a little janky. But it's also extremely hilarious as well, where it just smashes and crashes. Is that a police? Okay, maybe it's not police. Whoops. I don't know why they picked this vehicle as the vehicle of choice. Like if they're in free roam, if they're gonna give you one vehicle, there had to be much better vehicles they could have give this one vehicle. It's like, dear Lord, there must be something better than this one. And there is vehicles you can find in random places, but they tend to despawn you out of any vehicles you do manage to find your way into. So have they added much more to the free roam in terms of little missions? I feel like I have tried most of the stuff. Let's go up to the city and see what's in here. They certainly need to allow you to change your character as well. You know, like Mr. This dude, I mean, they can keep him in as an option to be, but I think they gotta let you be other characters as well. You know, like why not let you be story characters and maybe lesser NPC characters? You know, just like even like when you're in free roam, press start and have a change character, have a change character menu or a little section, and you know, maybe whichever, if you change character, it resets your progression of whatever you're doing or collecting on that character. So that kind of gives a kind of worth to change your character. I mean, that's just an idea. Hey there, Rocky. The new update, it's pretty minimal. I mean, this is free roam, so there's no real cutscenes, but you can skip cutscenes. Enemy AI has improved quite a bit in terms of their a little bit less janky, they're a little bit less their animations are a little bit less weird when they're in cover and stuff. But there's not a lot of stuff on consoles that's changed. I know on PC, the publishing of user-generated worlds and stuff has gotten easier. But on consoles, stuff the changes are quite minimal at the moment. But I don't think there's anything massive that's been added. And as we were checking, the NPC, well, I'll just show you now, the NPC AI still needs quite a lot of work. I'll just show you now what I mean by the NPC AI needing work. So if you aim, the NPCs don't really have any... What the hell? Okay, he's not... They haven't... Whoops. The NPC AI doesn't seem to have any emotion in their face. That could be quite a big thing to add to the game, but I think it's crucial. Where the hell is this guy going? It's certainly where is he going? This guy's gonna drive me over as well. The day-night cycle is another one they could add. Perpetually locking you to nighttime when the game actually looks a lot better in daytime is certainly a choice. Let me get your comment, Rocky, sorry. I wonder if multiplayer and everything they promise is still planned. From what I'm hearing, multiplayer is definitely still planned. When it will arrive is the question. They're still doing bug fixes, and there's not been any big, as you say, or as I was talking about, there's no big changes of new content that you could tangibly see and try out. So, like, what will the first new stuff be? Will it be a multiplayer? Will it be, making free roam have more stuff to do in it? Like, currently free mode is essentially a couple of these gang hideout things. But you still can't get into vehicles and stuff like that. Whoops, okay. Oh, dear God. This automated car thing is extremely janky. Is there anybody here? I thought this was a hideout. Anybody here? Doesn't seem to be. Okay, that's kind of weird. Did I go into the wrong building, maybe? I have no idea. Well, you have that tower symbol that is apparently around here, but there doesn't appear to be anything here. Whoops. Where is the vehicle? I have no... Oh, there it's... Vehicle seems to be stuck. The automated vehicle ain't the smartest tool in the shed. It's probably gonna kill me. Oh, yep. That wasn't very smart. Where's the vehicle now? Here it comes, and you cannot trust this thing not to try and drive you over. Okay, it's going the whole way up here, and then it's gonna spin around. Okay, I have no idea where that thing is going to. Oh, here it is. The update is mainly PC oriented, with the cutscene skipping being a feature that was needed, but not necessarily something that's going to get hundreds of people back playing the game. It's good for people playing the story mode for the first time again or replaying it. You're not having to sit through long cutscenes that you've seen 50 times before. But it will be interesting when it comes to time when they actually do add content, and I believe they will add content. The question is the quality of the content and the frequency of the content will be interesting. Is there any new interesting custom race missions that people made that you enjoyed? You see, I'm on console. So on console, what the hell? On console you can't play. On console you can't play the user-generated content yet, which is another thing that needs to be added. This is the target practice area, I believe. Yikes. Is there no other weapons I can get? No. No. Oh, it's still going. No. I am royally screwing this up. Certainly, I certainly ain't hitting the bullseye. Bronze, yeah. Not great. So yeah, the game definitely needs a full map that you can, because they got lots of stuff in this mini map, but you don't know how far away stuff is. Now I have no, what's this car left? Here it is. Yeah, multiplayer would be interesting, but multiplayer will be dependent on them having a player base, enough of a player base. You know, whether you're in North America, Australia, Europe, there's going to be enough people online at any given time. Because if you know, and they're going to need to get the player base back in order to get enough people playing it. So that's certainly an uphill struggle they will have. Because even if they do incorporate a really cool really cool multiplayer, if there ain't enough people to utilize it and be in there and make it workable, make it active, they're kind of screwed. Oh, no. Looks like we can enter this car, can we? Are they going to allow us to drive it? Well, let's find out. These people don't particularly seem too concerned about me stealing. Pretty badass car. Now, a lot of times when you find a car on free, oh, this is a pretty cool car. A lot of times in free roam, when you find a vehicle, you can drive it a bit, then they'll despawn you. So let's take this for a drive and see how far we can get without the game. Yikes. Without the game trying to take this lovely car away from us. But it's putting it there and it's making it accessible. So it's like, damn, there's neon on your car. I've never seen this before. Yeah, it's pretty damn cool. But again, wait for it. I think if I drive far enough away, they'll despawn it on me. Hopefully not. Yep, there we go. The bizarre feature of this game, where whenever you do find something cool, it just tends to mess you around and take it away from you. And now I'm far away from the other vehicle. I think that area was I was supposed to get into the Jeep to do some sort of mission. But yeah, there is a couple of vehicles in free roam that you can access, but once you drive them for a certain amount of time, the game just kicks you out of it, which is really quite bizarre. Okay, how do I get back to that? Yeah, it's a very strange part of the game, free roam. It's kind of like they started putting stuff into it and then they just abruptly stopped and kind of didn't finish putting stuff in. I have the game on PC. I enjoyed the story, but shame there's not more to do, and the game is still a mess. Yeah, there are certainly parts of the game that is very, very messy still. Have you tried build mode, Rocky? The build modes, I can't access it on consoles, but I do think build mode, from what I've seen, looks really cool. So they spawned back the neon car, but obviously they're not allowing me to drive it very far. I'm not sure about these other neon vehicles. Can't get into that one. Can't get into that one. But these neon cars are pretty damn awesome. Yeah, build mode was interesting. I played one custom race, that was fun. Check out TRP Open World next time you're online, Rocky. So this one I think we can drive, and it's like a mission or something. But new weapon, linebacker added. Which one's that again? Oh, it's the shotgun. Are these guys gonna notice? Stop dancing. What about the DJ? Is he gonna stop DJing if I aim at him? Apparently he is. What's he drinking? He's drinking some Red Rock What does that say? Red rock something, I can't quite make out. Let's go into it anyway and see what this... I think I may have done this mission before. Oh, what the hell? Why are they shooting me? Rikey. Whoops. Did I turn off the HUD? Is it supposed to be telling me something? What the hell? What the hell? What? Okay, what was that about? So once I got out of the car, it just started flashing and beeping a horn, and then... So is that a race? So it was like a... Okay. So if I drive away for a while again, this will probably spawn this thing back again. Or will it? I'm not sure if I messed up this. So if I drive too far away, it will despawn completely. Can't go too far away or this is gonna kick me out of this. Nope, still nothing. Yikes. We may be stuck there. You need to be in the car, yeah. Okay, who the hell is this? Who is this guy shooting at? Do you think I'm inside? Okay. Okay, there's something else over there. Or is that something? Oh, it's just a... I thought it was a flashing, like, item or weapon or something. It's just a barbecue or something. Our neon car got stuck here, but we're not going to be able to drive it very far anyway. Let's drive away a bit and... I come back to that mission again. If it is going to spawn for me again, I have no idea. Did I get to play everywhere? That's still the game. I never did get to play everywhere. Was it... What was it really like? I've seen things about it, but I don't know a lot about everywhere. Was it something that was worth playing? Was it... What kind of stuff were people able to create in that? Yeah, my just question of everywhere, like, what was it? Like, was it like a build mode as a game or something? Like, was it like a create your own game type thing? Or was there already pre-made content in it that you could, like the build mode were portals that you could play already? Was this where we were? My sense of direction is not good. Oh, the neon car is still there. Okay, with the neon car, when you want it to despawn, it won't, and when you don't want it to despawn, it does. The joys of MindsEye and its bizarre glitchiness. I think I would be a good QA tester because I would find all this weird stuff that people would never think about. The majority of the game platform parts I played cool. Sounds very interesting. Yeah, I to be honest, when I started following MindsEye, I heard a lot about everywhere, but I never really understood how the two things were connected. But it just does seem like such a weird thing. Like even these cars despawning is just like a strange thing that I don't think I've ever noticed in any game before. You know, where they... Whoa. Oh dear. Oh, there's the freaky audio. Talk about a weird mix of situations. Our character that our car that we found completely despawns, and we fly out of it, and then we land near apparently a motel or some sort where there's some shenanigans happening. MindsEye certainly isn't. What's the word? I guess it can be boring, but it's never straightforward, and I guess that's a good and bad thing. A lot of the time. So has our mission spawned in again? I think it may have done. Best comparison I have is Dreams on PS4. MindsEye was meant to be playable in the cinema of everywhere social open world. MindsEye's VR headsets would access everywhere. Awesome. Yeah, I think, and I'm probably, it's probably pie in the sky stuff, but I think that MindsEye incorporating VR at some point really could be something awesome, because I mean there is no open world VR games, especially PSVR 2 or something like that. Like if MindsEye was able to even this pretty this free roam section here that doesn't have a lot in it, if you could do this in VR, it would be awesome to be able to drive around Red Rock, to be able to, in first person, to drive around and use weapons and just explore the map in VR would be awesome. And you wouldn't need to add all the crazy content that I was talking about, because in VR it's more about the experience of exploring. So yeah, I think that's something that likely will never happen, but certainly would be really, really cool. I believe it was cut to make the deadline. It could come down the line, but I'm honestly not certain it will be the same. MindsEye is meant to be episodic, so one episode a year. different time periods. Next year will be a year post-campaign with free mode content. Connecting the time between. Luigi, is there any update from the team on Discord on what's next? Update 5 is coming next. This is Luigi's comments I'm reading here, sorry. Some changes to AI and gameplay. Hitman, hopefully October. Be awesome if Hitman came in October. So let's try this. So, okay, I go into this. Some of these missions and portals are not very well explained. Okay, so this is a race. I completely missed that whole. I thought it was one of those missions where you had to go somewhere or something and fetch something. Yikes! What the hell? Those guys shooting at me? Oh, they are shooting at me. Okay. Things have escalated a little bit. Make it interesting. Yikes. Whoa. There's a couple of parts of these maps where if you hit the wrong part of the terrain, your vehicle gets flipped over or something. Whoa, is there a ramp here? Yes, there is. Whoa. Yikes. What the hell? Yeah, so this kind of stuff, with maybe a little bit more excitement, a little bit more dialogue here or there, and maybe a little bit dynamic music. Just kind of random cool stuff. But unfortunately, at the moment, free roam is there's just not enough of this kind of stuff added to it to make it feel fleshed out and exciting. Yikes. I guess multiplayer would be allowing for online races. Like what else will multiplayer be? You know, I guess just free roam with your friends and attacking people, gunfights, death matches, stuff like that. Is that where we think free mode or multiplayer is the direction that's kind of gonna go? I don't know. Whoops. Good night. Yeah, the big thing for multiplayer is to get more people. Silver, okay. New personal best. I think I may have done that once before. I think. I'm hoping to see monthly content start from October onwards. 14 people on Steam playing this game. It's dead, man. It would be interesting to see what the console numbers are. Again, the hope is with meaningful new stuff added, you may start getting people back. That's cool. Mirrors in. Not sure why you've tuned in to engage with it though. Co-op PPV races, endless user generated content game mode. Yeah, you know, the whole debate about it's dead, it's over. It's tough. You would love to know what the complete numbers are and the active people. It's very hard for a game like this to be super active. If there isn't much, I guess it's essentially more of a single player game. So surely the single player part of it is the part they're depending on. But they're not letting me back in this vehicle. So I guess that's whoa. That's the confusing thing. Was their mindset always for this to be primarily single player, or was it always supposed to be the user generated thing, and the multiplayer thing where content's always been added, and that's where the game lives? Because certainly that side of the game wasn't pushed in the marketing that much. Kind of just near the launch, the build mode and the this here open world part, free roam part of the game was then pushed, but generally the MindsEye story was the thing that was mainly pushed. And now the idea that they're going to add content seems like it's not going to be storyline content. It's more going to be online and kind of side stuff. So it's, yeah, I'm kind of still confused about what is the direction of the game, and I don't think they've quite since the Rocky launch they've quite committed to what exactly direction they're going to go. 3,500 peak on Steam according to analysts. 80% of the purchases were PS5, though it's a pretty one and done campaign at the moment. I doubt it's bringing users back just yet. Monthly content is the bet, though. We got 10 people in here, so 10 people. That's our peak at the moment. So what do people want to see? Do people want to see more of this dude, or maybe more go into the story missions before I finish up? I do like this mission, this section of the game. I think this is the section I'm thinking it is. There's Mr. Jacob Diaz. Okay, we don't have the fancy car yet in this part of the game. See, I think the game looks a lot more impressive. I said this a couple of times in the stream during the day. So if you're wondering, there is characters, if you joined the stream, there is characters speaking, but I've muted the dialogue because these characters, it's a personal thing, but these characters keep talking and talking and talking. And like this mission, this driving part, it takes a while, and these characters keep talking and talking and talking. It's pretty never ending. So I'm wondering how long have they been building this open world? Like, I'm always fascinated by sort of the talent behind people that actually went and created this open world. Like I would complain about small details not being added in the game, but I do believe if you go up to a CCTV camera anywhere on the open world map, if you shoot it, the camera explodes, and then the camera dangles on a wire, and it's like this small detail, and I was like, wow, somebody put the detail into that. Or even if you shoot a tire of a car, it deflates really, and when you move the flat tire, it moves in a really realistic way. Those details are added, and then other details like the dodgy NPCs are not weren't worked on. So it's a strange one where certain parts of the game have so much care put into, and then others not quite so. But this part of the game, with with the flying, the sandstorm and stuff, was quite impressive. And I thought, yeah, this is. Whoops, sorry, I'm going off map here. This is a part of the game where I thought, oh, okay, there's something, they're doing new. There's something new here. There's some real care being put in, but it's just not quite enough of that. There's a couple of missions like the CPR mission was shambolic, really bad mission. What the hell? That robot just tried to run out in the middle of the road. Okay. The CPR mission was just bizarre. I don't know what. I don't know how that got past. And that was one of the. That was so bad that they had to patch that early on and make it less of a chore to try and get through. Reading some of the comments here. It's a tough one. The Unreal pivot happened in 2020, but this game wasn't a priority as recently as. This game wasn't a priority as recently as 2023. They got the publishing deal in November 2024. So while the world was being built since 2017, the game was finalized over the course of 8 months. So this world here, this map, has been built since for like 7 or 8 years. Okay, I well believe that, because this map does look like there was a lot of care put into it. I think that's the part that I'm kind of lost on, is usually in games like this, like if it's the new James Bond game, like a section of this map will be used for a set piece, like a chase or something. But they'll not create a whole map. They'll try to keep you away from getting to the rest of the map where they maybe haven't added anything. But this game has a full map. Sorry, I'm chatting and missing my turns here. I think that's the part that, there's certain people go, oh well, it's not a free roam game, it's not an open world game, it's more of a linear game. But then when you have a big massive map, that sort of confuses the waters a bit. It's interesting. But yeah, there's definitely sections of the story that work best. I think this part leads into the caravan part and the shootout, and then you go to this is Charlie the hacker's place, and is there a chase after that with the Unreal chase where you're shooting. That was a great part of the. Damn, I'm missing my turn again. That part of the game where you're shooting out of the vehicle while it's being automatically driven by Charlie, I think was really good. But it struggled quite a lot performance-wise. I remember on my playthrough. I will be interested to see, is that any better now if it's not too far away, that part of the game. Because that was one of the few times where I really noticed that the game performance-wise was struggling. Yeah, the sandstorm thing, the weather idea is a really cool thing to, I think Just Cause 4 did stuff with weather. Even performance here with all these vehicles isn't struggling that much, and I remember it used to struggle quite a bit. So they've obviously cleaned up Whoa, cheekers. Okay, that guy was not stopping for nobody. Alright, read the comments here. I'd say closer to 5. Anything prior to 2020 was done in a lumberyard, in the lumberyard engine. I'm not sure how much of MindsEye was actually being built at that point, but then Unreal 5 has also been in active development. This is Unreal 5 4, but really only recently is all the tech it uses is being optimized for console. If you watch the Matrix UI demo, this is the closest have seen to a full game delivering that, and that's an indie develop. Yeah, the Matrix demo was really cool. Well, here's Rigsby giving out again. The Matrix demo was really cool, especially the kind of cinematic parts where you're in the car shooting out. Like, those parts look really awesome. I believe I believe I had that downloaded. There's kind of conflicting reports. If you installed and played that Matrix demo, you can still access it, or have they completely removed cheekers? Whoa! Or have they completely removed that demo completely from people's libraries? Because I know there's stuff like, and that's a different story, but the Driver San Francisco, you cannot find that game anywhere unless you have the original PS3 versions. Like, you can't get Driver San Francisco for download, and that game, what the hell? Oh no, they're not gonna put me back at the very start, are they? No. No, that serves me for... that serves me right for going completely... driving so badly. Yeah, that's completely my fault. It'd be interesting to try that. I must try that out again to see. I definitely did download it on PS5. But it would be PS5, wouldn't it? Yeah. That was a straight. So that was like the Matrix thing. That wasn't to promote any movie or nothing. Was it? It was a tech demo. But the addition of Matrix was that just? I guess it was just tie in with. They obviously had the rights to use it, and yeah, it was really impressive. And, back to GTA 6, like they're so good at keeping the lid out. I guess there was leaks of GTA 6 as well, but we don't know, we barely know anything about GTA 6, what they have in the can. The leaks didn't really show a lot. They showed a couple of robberies of like a shop or something, or a restaurant, and a couple of is it Lucia in GTA 6, or running around in the city and stuff. But it was all really kind of, damn it, gotta keep on the right path here. A lot of really low poly, or kind of early render stuff, kind of early stage stuff. So we don't know what they've got in the can. We don't know how impressive. Okay, the trailers, people say there's the whole debate when the trailers come out, especially the last trailer where they said it's all gameplay footage. but it's not quite. It's like it is in-engine footage, but when you're playing the game, the characters aren't being shot cinematically. Like when you're playing GTA 6, there will be a third-person, primarily a third-person camera. Hear me messing up again. So yeah, the idea that the GTA 6 trailers is gameplay footage isn't quite true. It's not pre-rendered, sure, but it's okay. I am absolutely. I can't talk and talk and follow the map at the same time, it appears. Yeah, that is the question. And what does GTA 6 have up its sleeve that is really going to impress people and really going to knock people's socks off? To be honest, some of this stuff here impressed the hell out of me. It's just the fact that MindsEye just couldn't quite stick the landing throughout the game. And just have that kind of quality the entire way through. And I think that's generally MindsEye's main issue is it delivers in parts really well, and then other parts kind of detract from it. So if I don't get here in the 15 seconds, is this gonna fail me? Is that what happened the last time? No. Okay, they haven't failed me yet. The last time, did I just drive too far up a road that I wasn't supposed to? Is that the... Yeah, Rigsby. Not impressed. Yeah, you do not need to remind me, Rigsby. Rigby? Is it Rigsby or Rigsby? And we are finally here. At last. Yeah, that first trailer was filled with scripted set pieces of NPCs, but I do believe the second one is using a Red Dead 2 style cinematic mode with some fancy camera angles. I don't believe it's coming in May at all though, not until it's playable on my machine. I reckon October, November. I agree wholeheartedly. It's cyberpunk-esque in that works fine for me, but clearly something isn't right. Launched too early on a tight deadline. On my channel, if you look through my channel on GTA 5, my channel is mainly like, I don't think GTA 5 is the greatest game ever, but for me it is one of my most important games because of the Rockstar editor. So the Rockstar editor was like a cinematic movie making tool where, like for this part here where I'm walking as Jacob, I could record that and then go in and add a cinematic camera angle, and that's what they use to make cinematics and adverts for GTA 5, and I'm hoping that GTA 6 has a Rockstar editor as well to make short films and cinematics. That was a reason I actually didn't get too much into Red Dead 2 is because I got my hopes up that there would be an editor, and it never came. So where's this? Where is this caravan now? Hello. Jump scare alert. Yeah, the editor, I'm still editing cinematics and movies. The amount of time it takes to make something even 2 or 3 minutes long is, if you're trying to put care into it, it's just insane the amount of time it takes. It's something you can do. It's something you can do in build mode, but I do hope there's more bespoke tools for the pipeline. I've been asking since everywhere things like a timeline and sequencer exporting. So is there anything like the editor? You think is there anything like the Rockstar editor in MindsEye to be able to create cinematics in any way at all? So let's see what the enemy AI is like in this. I guess I'm kind of being a little bit unfair because I'm playing it in easy mode, so the enemies are going to be probably a little bit less than kind of reactive and hard, I guess. But the glitchy cover thing with the enemy AI, I think that I'm not seeing as much of that. Okay. Still getting a little bit of jank where they're just running. I guess. Let's see. Yeah, I could really do with a melee slap or something. A first-person mod would be interesting. I think it is something that probably is possible to do. You essentially just gotta make the player camera maybe. How it's not as easy as just putting the player camera up to their chest or something, or eye level. You kind of would have to get rid of the head and stuff. What the hell? Whoops. Oh, that's true. I have dialogue turned down, so yeah, that's probably a fair point. I'm nearly sure though the NPCs on the street though. Oh, chase the truck. Oh crap! Damn it. My bad. Yeah, with dialogue turned off, I'm really missing key parts where the game is trying to tell me stuff. Whoop, get in it. Do love the sandstorm effects though. I think Just Cause 4 had like hurricanes and stuff, which I don't think I've got to play got to that part in Just Cause 4 yet. But Red Dead had a lot of cool weather effects as well, apparently. Red Dead 2, that is. Whoa. Whoa. Cool. Yikes. Now that bonnet's gonna go flying, yep. Whoops. So I'm supposed to chase the truck, but I'm not supposed to actually stop it, am I? Oh, this takes us to the neighborhood where there's the shootout. Probably should be keeping our distance because we aren't able to shoot him, are we? We can't shoot out of a car, can we? No, I don't think so. Whoops. Characters do, I know, have to have them muted, but the characters on the phone do really tend to talk too much. You're in these really stressful, chaotic situations, and the characters they really never stop talking. It's like, I know that's a thing that's in a lot of games like this, but my lord, these characters, they are like literally being blown up right, left, and center, and they are still having conversation. Whoa. Yikes. Damn it, am I gonna lose this truck? It's too close to there a minute ago, and now I'm too far away from it. Slow down. Shit. It's up here. Performance-wise for that chase, it was pretty damn good. I actually do like the shooting, it's a case of... So let's see how this animations work for... This guy is... What is he doing here? Is he shooting the wall? I mean, you don't mind a little bit of jank here or there. This guy's just shy, I think. Or maybe was that a woman? I'm not sure. Whoops. Good night. Whoops. Good night. Is this the car chase? with the gun on top? It is. Let's see how the performance of this goes, because this was the part where the game went to a crawling halt when I was playing it first time. Graphically it looks great, but let's see when it gets hectic here, how it runs. So it's running good so far. Whoa, what the hell? Yikes. Jesus. The cars are doing a spin-a-rooney. Whoops. Good night. And they're still going. Performance-wise, it's running pretty well. Couple of crazy flips going on here or there, but it's definitely not stuttering the way it was on launch, and this was one of the more hectic part of the games. I think that's it. Okay, everybody, thank you for joining the stream. Luigi, I have first person in my YouTube. You have first person already? Oh, I'd love to see that. If you could send me on a clip of that as well, I'd be really interested to see what MindsEye first person looks like. That'd be really awesome. But yeah, I'll probably finish up the stream here. If you'd like to see me do more MindsEye streams, please do let me know. Stream is a little bit all over the place, but I guess MindsEye is kind of like that. And we're just trying to look around it and see if stuff's improved, and there certainly is parts of the game that have improved. And there's other parts that still need work. But yeah, the skipping cutscenes also makes going in and messing around with some of this stuff a lot more, a lot less of a chore. And it's your choice. If you want to watch the cutscenes, you can watch them. And but yeah, I'll probably finish up the stream here. MindsEye, it's one of those things I can't give up on yet. There's a lot to like, and there's a lot that you could hope they can maybe rejig and fix. But anyway, Jacob Diaz says good night, and I will see you in the next stream. Thank you, and see you later.